Namaste. Hari Om, all of you. Namaste, Hari Om. Today we have got Dr. Akhilesh Shukla. As you all know him, he was there with us last week with the topic of water. Dr. Akhilesh Shukla, Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om, Bhaiya. Yes. He's going to speak on food for healthy living. Dr. Akhilesh Shukla is an assistant professor in Ayush University at Chhattisgarh. He has done his MD, PhD in Ayurveda. Sir, welcome to this platform once again. Thank you so much for your valuable time.
My pleasure, sir.
Over to you, sir. You can start.
Sir, thank you so much. Patanjalya Mahabhashya Charak Prati Sanskritai Manovakkaya Doshanam Harte Rahipataye Namaha. My humble pranam to the great rishis of Ayurveda and Yoga, and my humble pranam to the presence of divinity within all of you. So today we will discuss about one of the very important topic, that is food for healthy living. I have prepared a presentation and I will share the screen with you. Sir, is this visible, the screen?
Yes, sir. Very much, sir. Very much.
Sir.
Only your video is off, I feel. So it's fine.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So food for healthy living. There was a time in the history when more and more people were dying because of the scarcity of the food. They were not having sufficient for their eating.
Sir, if you could on your video, sir.
Sir, actually...
okay, fine.
It is... actually, in mobile, it is...
Okay.
This
no issues.
Option is not there.
No issues, sir. No issues.
Yeah. So I was saying that there was a time in the history when more and more people were dying because of the scarcity of the food. They were not having sufficient for their survival. And because of the malnutrition, they were suffering with so many diseases and they were dying. But now the situation has entirely changed. Actually, we have sufficient amount of food, or we can say there is a mixed kind of situation, that one side the people are dying because of the overeating or improper way of eating, and another side we also see a situation where the people are dying because of the malnutrition or because of the scarcity of the food. So such is the situation. And the research data says that more number of people, they are dying because of their improper way of eating or the overeating, compared to the people, those who are dying because of the scarcity of the food. So now you can imagine the food which should provide health to us is becoming cause for our death. So we'll go and we will discuss each of the point why this situation has came and why the food which should provide health to us is becoming cause for manifestation or emergence of so many diseases, and that diseases becoming the platform for our death. Optimum nutrition is the medicine of tomorrow. This is the quote which is given by the Linus Pauling. He has shared 2 Nobel Prize, unshared Nobel Prize winner, and he quoted that the optimum nutrition is medicine of tomorrow. So you can understand the importance of food which we eat, how much it is contributing for our health. So actually, Ayurveda says that ahara sambhavam vastu rogascha ahara sambhava. So actually the disease and health both are dependent upon the food which we eat. And the good physical strength, intellect, complexion, cheerfulness, good voice, everything that depends upon the food which we take. They say that tushti, pushti, balam, medha, sarvamanne pratishthitam. Everything is depending upon the food which you are eating. So your health status is good, then your all aspects like your intellect, your complexion, your cheerfulness, your energy, everything will be fine. And again, when your food habit is wrong, it will become the cause for manifestation of the diseases, and you will suffer with so many health issues. So importance of food. So actually in Ayurveda, we say that there are three sub-pillars which are essential to keep any person healthy. So one is the ahara, that is the food. Next is they are saying is ahar nidra, that is the sleep. And third thing they are saying it is the brahmacharya. So brahmacharya, one aspect which we commonly say that brahmacharya is your regulated or controlled sexual activity. But Brahma, when we say that sarvam, the whole jagat, sarvam khalvedam brahma. So the whole world is Brahma. So actually when we say that brahmacharya, it also means that we have to see the connectedness with the whole world. That means we should be in oneness with this whole existence. So that state, the one who is traveling to that path is brahmacharya. And they are saying that ahara, nidra and brahmacharya, these all are the three sub pillars. And if these three things are balanced, then the people will have a healthy life. And again, brahmaderapi cha lokasya ahar sthiti utpatti vinasha hetu. It is said that the ahara, it is responsible for our birth, that you know that in the when we are in the womb inside the uterus, then the food only is nourishing us, and our survival whole thing take place because of the nutrition which we are getting through our mother. And again, when we take birth, after that we are taking, and at the time of birth we are just 2.5 or 2 3, almost 3 kg. Then slowly we grow, and this food only it is helping us to go nourish, and we are becoming a complete human being. And then this food only becomes the cause for the termination of our life. So they are saying that the utpatti, sthiti and vinasha, all the three things are because of the food. So that much importance is given to the ahara or the food which we take. Again, as I told that the Linus Pauling, he told that the optimum nutrition is the medicine of tomorrow. But much before in the Kashyap Samhita, they are saying that aharo mahabhaishajya muchyate. The ahara mahabhaishajya. Bhaishajya means the medicine, and mahabhaishajya means the best medicament. So they are saying this ahara, when you take, it is the best medicament. That means even to cure your disease, bhaishaja we say, which is curing your health issues. So when you take the proper diet, it is becoming the best medicament. And again, it is told that those who are taking the right or the proper way of this food, they do not need any medicine. And another ways they are saying is those who are not following the guidelines of food intake, whatever medicine you give, it is going to be useless. So both the things are there. So only they have told that this ahara is the best medicament. Again, because we are seeing that more and more people are falling ill because of the food habits, and the WHO says that almost 60% of our health depends upon the kind of food which we eat. So there is a continuously increasing interest of the people that what is the right way of eating. And there are so many information which are there in the internet, and in the various sources. Sometimes they say that eating this is good for your health, eating that is good for your health. Sometimes you will also find the studies which are completely contrary to that. Like sometimes they said that taking tea is good, taking coffee is good. Sometimes they come out with a study, they are saying that this is bad, that is bad. So there is very much several confusion, and more people are taking interest towards Ayurveda, as how the Ayurveda has explained the food habits and what is the right food for our healthy living. So here in this presentation, I will tell in a very short, it is just a bird view of what our text have explained. So the Ayurveda cautions against the culture of free and mindless eating. That means whenever you feel hungry, you go anywhere, you just have, it is like just we are traveling and filling the petrol in our bike. Similarly, the people are doing whatever they want, and they just, whenever they have hungry, they just go, they feed in their system. They do not care what they are eating, in what place they are eating, how the food is prepared, what are the things added to that. They are giving much priority to only the taste. If the food is tasty, then fine. Wherever the place, whatever the way it is cooked, when it is prepared, they are not bothered about it. So the Ayurveda is very much cautioning about such kind of food habits. And they are saying is, in this science of life offers everyone the freedom to maintain the perfect healthy status of the body and recovery from the disease by understanding the body and its need. So our perfect health and the need of the body, that we have to properly understand, and accordingly only we have to provide the nutrition to our body. So we will see everything in this short presentation. See, when the food is taken judiciously and according to the code which is given in the text, then only this food is providing the optimum health to us. So we have to know that what are the things we can consume, or what are the food items we can include in our daily diet. So there are there are amples of options available, but which are the such food items which you can take habitually, or you can take in almost in your daily food, irrespective of the age, irrespective of the season, and irrespective of your condition. These items you can take. So they are saying is, तच्च नित्यं प्रयुञ्जित स्वस्थं येनानुवर्तते अजातानां विकाराणां अनुत्पत्तिकरं चेत्. So it means the food which maintains your healthy status, and again the food which will not allow any disease to manifest, or the disease of which the pathology is almost going in a slow phase. So that disease should not emerge. So your food should able to provide and maintain your healthy status, and it should not allow any of the diseases to manifest. That kind of food only we have to select. So what are such food items? They are saying is Sashtika Shali, Mudganshu, Sendho Amal Kevan, Antriksha Poyah Sarpi, Jangal Madhucha. So Shashtik Shali means the rice, or it is specifically means the rice which is cultivated within 60 days. So Shashtika means the 60, and Shali is rice. So a variety of rice which is grown quickly in just 60 days, or else any type of rice is also fine. Then the Mudga is the green gram or moong ki dal, the moong, and Saindhava. Actually, the sea salt, which is very common in all the families, sea salt is not good for our health. The rock salt, Sendho Lavana, or the Sendho Namak, that is very healthy, and that we should include in our diet. Then the Amalaka, and they are saying that water, last time I discussed about the water. So rain water is considered as the best water for your daily use. If rain water is not available, then you have to go for the other option. Otherwise, the best is the rainwater. It can be collected and used for whole year. Then ghrita, ghee specifically means the cow's ghee. And again, they are saying is those who are very much fond of non-vegetarian. So the only they are saying is the jungle mansa that they can have, and the honey, madhu is shahad or honey. These food items we have to include in our food, and irrespective of the season, irrespective of the age, irrespective of the gender. Some of the important guidelines of our diet that we will go through. So actually the balancing calorie. So we have to take food, but we have to always avoid the overeating. And our food should be in accordance to our physical activity. That means you have to understand how much energy you are expending and how much energy you are taking. So if you are very much active physically, you can have some more calories, there is no problem. But if you are less physically active, then again you have to cut down your diet and you have to take only what you expend. Otherwise, the overeating that will become cause for, or that will become excess to your system, and this will become the fat, and it will again the obesity become the platform for many of the problems, such as your the cardiac arrest or the hypertension, the diabetes. All these are, the obesity is becoming the platform for such all things, and this is because of the excess amount of eating and because of the imbalance of your energy intake and energy expenditure. So we have to always keep balance, and that what is suitable for our physical expenditure, that physical activities, that amount of food only we have to take. And again, the mit bhojan swasthya. Mit bhojan is, mit means the quantity. So again, when we are taking food in our regulated quantity or sufficient quantity what is required, then our health status is properly maintained. And again, they are saying is mitasyu satvika ahara, rajasa purna bhojana, tamsa stwadika ahara hi ahara trividhamata. So okay, hope you have read in the Bhagavad Gita also satvik, rajasic, tamasic ahara is explained. One way they are explaining about the ingredients of satvik, rajasic and tamasic ahara. The second way they are saying the quantity. So mitasyu means in the required quantity, one who is in taking food, that is comes under the sattvic ahara. Rajasa is purna bhojana, that means those who are taking full of stomach, that comes under the rajasic way of eating the food. And tamasic is the excess eating, overeating, that comes under the tamasic. So we have to always take the sattvic amount of ahara or the sattvic ahara. Then as I told that the food items which you should include in our diet, so there are certain food items which we have to decrease or we have to minimize these food items, or it's always better that if we have some kind of health issues, then we should completely avoid these food items. So like the bakery products, pizza, etc. Then sugar drinks or the cold drinks, these all things we have to completely avoid. Then preserved food items, frozen food or deep fried food which are packed and they are sold in the market, that all we have to avoid. Then we have to reduce our sodium and salt intake. Most of these packed food items or the bakery products, they are sugar loaded food, or they are very salty and spicy. So these all food items we have to completely avoid. And again they are saying this guru prishtamayam tasmat tandulan prathukanapi na jatu bhuktvan khaden matra khadet bhukshita. So guru ahara means any food which is heavy. So that type of food, pishtamayam they are saying is the food which is prepared from the flour. So like some kind of laddu we prepare from the besan, and many other sweet dishes we prepared from this flour, maybe the wheat flour or maybe the besan or other types of these things we have to. And they are saying is tandulan prithuka. Prithuka means what we say the parched rice or the poha. So these things they are saying is na jatu bhuktvan khadet. That means after having the food, we should not again eat these heavy food items. And again, whenever we are hungry, such food items we have to take in limitation. That means the sweet items or the items which are prepared from the flour, maybe some sweet halwa or these kind of things. That item, even when we are hungry, we have to take only limited quantity because they are very heavy for the digestion. They will not easily get digested, and if you are taking it little excess, that will interrupt with your normal routine food habits. And again, some of the food items which we have to increase, so that are like the fruits and vegetables that we have to include in our diet, our daily diet. These things should be there. Then again, at least half of our food should be of whole grains. That means many people, those who are taking the dal, so I told that the mudga we should include every day in our diet, the moong dal. That take with this outer cover, that is with what we say the chilka. So chilke wali moong dal, that we have to take. It's not the dal whose outer cover is removed. So that is not very good. So almost half, like even the wheat which we take. So we should take wheat with its choker or its fiber. We should not remove the fiber or outer cover and then this wheat is. So that is not very good. The whole grain, like even the if we are eating this besan, so we can have this besan completely from the whole this horse gram. So such items, so they are saying is we have to include at least half of our diet with this whole grains. And low fat diet, more oily food is not good. We have to take only limited quantity of oil. It doesn't mean that you have to completely avoid the oils or ghee. We have to take ghee, but it is in only limitations. And some of the food items like Jivanti Shak, Sandhav Lavan, Gavya Sarpi. So Gavya Sarpi is the cow's ghee. Jivanti is a Leptidania reticulata. It's a vegetable, leafy vegetable. So that is available. Uh, Maybe some local name is different everywhere. So the botanical name of this vegetable is Leptidania reticulata, and it is commonly available almost every state. I have seen it in the Andhra Pradesh, even in the Chhattisgarh, even in the Karnataka. I have seen this vegetable is commonly available and people are eating it. So this is very good for our health. So enjoy your food, but eat less. See, I told that more and more people, they are falling ill because of the excess amount of eating, not because of the scarcity of the food. And as we see that from the last 2-3 decades, if you see the present day's lifestyle and the lifestyle which we had almost 2-3 decades ago, you will find that we are almost 10 to 20 times less physically active. So when our physical activities has reduced, our food, the amount of food which we are taking, that also should be in accordance with our physical activity. But it is changing. Actually, we are less physically active, but our nourishment or our nutritious status has improved a lot. Now everything is available to you just on the phone call or just on with this app. You can call anything, whatever you wish, or from any part of the world, whatever is available that you can have in your city, or there are restaurants from various different continents that you can order anything you can have. So this is not a right way of eating. So we have to eat little less, like whatever the amount we can have to our satisfaction, little less to that only we have to eat to maintain our health. And another very important thing they are saying is, when we are taking food, our mental status is very much important. In what mental status we are consuming this food. So actually our Shastra says that Matraya apyavahiratam patyam chandam na jireti. Chinta, shok, bhaya, krodha, dukha shayya prajagreh. So are they, even if you take the proper amount of food, matraya, apyabharatam, pathyam, even the most nutritious food you take, but that is not going to get digested if you are in chinta, if you are excessively worried, you are in grief, shoka, dukh, you have some kind of any problems, mental problem, dukha, or any depression or such kind of thing. Krodha is anger. And they are saying is prajagara. Prajagara means if you are awake for whole night, in such a state, even the right amount of food, the best nutritious food, that is also na jiriyati. They are saying is that is not going to get digested. So very important that whenever you are in anger, whenever you have some kind of excess worry in your mind, better you avoid food for some times. Allow yourself to cool down and then you can have food. But like if you are in office or something is going wrong, you are too much worry about, you have so much workload and the environment is not pleasant, and you are just because the time is for the lunch and you are consuming, so that kind of eating is not going to help you. So that kind of food also is not going to get digested properly. Always we have to be in pleasant state whenever we take food. And again, food which we can take more often. So that is some of these things I told that the vegetables, fruits, whole grain, low fat diet, and the items like the shashtika sali, godhuma, these all things, and some vegetables like shunishannaka, jivanti, mulaka. Mulaka is the radish. These all things we can have, and in the uh, fruits, the most uh, good food for our health is the grapes and this pomegranate, that is the very nice fruit, and amlaki, that is the gooseberry or the amla, that is very good food for our good fruits for our daily diet. This also some of the things I told, that the food which we should take less often, we should avoid all the bakery products, all the preserved food items, those who are frozen food, these all things we have to avoid. We have to avoid the extra fat, that means excess fat eating. And it is told that the mandot saham ati sthulam ati snigdam mahasanam, those who are less physically active and they are mahasanam. Mahasanam means they are taking excess amount of food but less physically active, and they are too much fond for this fatty or oily diet. They are saying is for such all persons, the mrityu prameha rupena kshipramayada gacchate. They are saying that the disease like diabetes, they come to us in the form of death. So that means this person, those who are less physically active, taking very high calorie diet, fatty diet, this person is going to suffer with the diseases like diabetes, and this diabetes is coming to end his life. So we have to always be careful about the excess amount of fat. And again they are saying is hitasi syat mitasi syat kal bhoji. So hitasi means we have to always be careful of what we are eating. So we have to select the food item which is good for our health. And some of the items I told that we have to take fruits, vegetables, the rice, this green gram, honey, and cow's ghee. So these food items, that all the hita ahara. And again, when we are taking this, we have to be very careful about the quantity what we are eating. And the third important thing is the kala. Kala is the time when exactly we have to take food. That also we have to be very careful. And one important thing is like when you are feeling hungry, when you have proper appetite, that is the best time for your eating. And when you are following a proper routine, then this hunger appetite time, that also will be almost fixed. So if you have a proper regimen of waking up early in the morning, then following your healthy daily regimen, then you get the appetite about 11 o'clock or 10:30. So that is the best time for your eating. And again in the night, maybe at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, that time you will feel hungry. That is the best time for your eating. So kala bhoji. So we have to follow a proper time schedule for our eating. Again, further they are saying is Pashyan Rogan Bahun Kashtan Buddhiman Vishmasana. Those who are not following this, that means those who are not taking healthy food items, those who are not taking food in proper quantity, and they are taking food without any proper time schedule, these people are going to suffer with the severe kind of diseases in their life. So we have to always be careful for these three things, that is the quantity, the quality, and the time of our food. Then again, see, very important thing they are saying is the food. Shatru Shatra Gana Kirna Ganika Panikashana. They are saying is the food which is prepared for the business purpose, that food which is unhealthy and we should avoid it. It simply means that the restaurant culture, which is very much prevalent, most of the people, they feel that weekends we have to go out and we have to take food in some restaurant. So this is not going to help you, or this is becoming the cause for the disease. So they are saying is the food which is prepared for the business purpose or to gain the profit, that food is not going to help. And actually this cooked food selling was not the culture of our country. We were having the business of the grains, but selling the cooked food was not uh, done here. Actually, the cooked food was served freely to the needy people, those who cannot have, or those who are traveling, or those who do not have, homeless people. So for such people, there were places where the cooked food was served freely, and maybe the city in charge or the king or some business person, they were taking they are becoming in charge for this kind of activities. But selling food items as it is seen now, that was not the culture of our uh, our country. So grains were sold. So only they are very much cautioned that the people who has prepared the food in mentality of gaining profit from that food, you have to avoid such kind of food. But now little bit the situation has changed, the work culture has changed. But in this situation also we have to see uh, the place where we are eating, what kind of ingredients are there, and we have to select what is suitable for our health. But as much as possible we have to avoid this outside food. One more important thing is we should not suppress our urge of hunger. That many people, when they are working, they kill their hunger by taking tea, coffee, or by taking some kind of biscuits, etc. So that kind of behavior is very unhealthy. So when you are hungry, you have to take proper food. And this Chudha Vega or Rodha, we say that the natural urge of hunger, when we are suppressing it by other means, like taking tea or some other cold drinks, etc., we are killing our hunger. That is going to be the cause of our loss of weight, the weakness, and our loss of complexion, etc. The beginning I told that the tushti, pushti, bala, medha, sarvamanne pratishtitam, that all things are depending upon the food which we consume. Similarly, if we are violating this, if you are not taking food in proper time, then it becomes the cause for our loss of weight, simply means the loss of our bodily tissues, then weakness, complexion, that all we will lose. Last time also we discussed that a drink when feel thirsty. So whenever we have thirst, we have to take water, and whenever we are hungry, we have to take food. When we are hungry, we should not take water, and when we are thirsty, we should not take food. So this we have to always keep in our mind to maintain our health. Both the things we have to care. We should not take too much of food, and again we should not take too less food. If you are physically active and taking less amount of food, so that food is insufficient for you. And again, if you are avoiding your food, your need, then again it will lead to your loss of the bodily tissues, and we say the dhatu kshaya. So that will happen, and again it will prepare the platform for manifestation of the disease. So both the things we have to maintain. Ati matra tushnam trin doshan. So excess way of eating, that will become cause for the vitiation of all the trin api doshan. All the three doshas gets vitiated because of the excess amount of food. And again, when we are taking hina matra, that is less quantity of food, that will become the cause for the manifestation of many of the Vata's Vikara. So Vata kind of diseases like the Sandhi, like the joint pain, the degenerative disorders, all kinds of the degenerative disorders are coming most of under this Vata Vikaras. So that all are because of the deficiency in our nutritional status. These things already I discussed, that the whenever we are taking food, we have to eat with the pleasant mind. Shastra it says that tanmana bunjit. So whenever we are taking food, we should completely concentrate on our food. Taking food is like a meditation. You have to take each food and enjoy it, each bolus of the food. When you are taking, you should not involve in the chatting or discussing about your personal matter, the office matter, or the other kind of things, or seeing the news or some kind of movies, etc. This is not. You should concentrate on your food, and they are saying is the tanmana bhunjit, with the pleasant mind, and with prizing the food. You have to enjoy your food, not with the worries, not with the any kind of anger, etc. Inclusion of cow's ghee, milk, that is so much prized in our Shastra. They are saying is Bina go raso bhojana. They are saying is unless you have some amount of ghee and some milk or little amount of buttermilk, then this, they are saying is without this, there the ko raso bhojana, they are saying is there is nothing in the food. If you are not having some amount of ghee or buttermilk or milk product, milk like the payasam or something, then this food is not complete. So always we have to include some amount of ghee or cow's ghee or the milk or the buttermilk, these things. One very important thing which comes in our Shastra is about the Viruddha Ahara. Viruddha Ahara is the incompatible food. That means there are food items when we mix together, that becomes viruddha. Or when we are, there are 16 kinds of different viruddhas, like the kala viruddha, with the improper timing of this food. Then paka means improper way of cooking the food, like there is method of cooking the each food items. So if the food is not cooked properly or it is overcooked, so that food, and again mixing of two different items which are opposite in the nature, mixing these things and taking, that also becomes uh, unhealthy for our intake. So these food items we have to always avoid. Like some of the items which are there is, whenever we are consuming some non-vegetarian food, then intake of milk is very much harmful. And like the intake of fish, when some people they are taking fish, in that situation we should not take milk on that day. And I have seen, I was in the Kerala, I have found that any of the families, they are strictly following it. Whenever they are taking fish, they are not taking milk on that day. So this, because these both the things, they becomes viruddha, incompatible. So such food items we have to avoid. And again, some mixing of this sour things with the milk, like the fruit juices. Many of the fruits, they are sour in the taste, but if you go in the market, many of these sour fruits, they are mixed with the milk, and they are, so we'll say it is the milkshake. But this milkshake is not very healthy for our, it becomes viruddha. So always the sour fruits, it should never be mixed with this milk. So this becomes a viruddha. Such many examples are there which we should avoid. In a course of meal, we have several items. We have some sweet items, we have some salty items, we have some spicy items, several items we have. So with what we have to start and how we have to proceed with each of these items. So in the Shastra, they are saying is Purvam Madhuram Ashniya. The beginning, we have to take the Madhura Ahara, like whatever the sweet dishes are there, suppose the payasam is there or some uh, any sweet dish like rasgulla or this gulab jamun, such type of items are there. Actually, we have to start our uh, we have to start with that sweet items. But it is completely opposite. If you see the people, they take all the food and at the end they go, they have the ice cream or they have the rasgulla or they have this other like any sweet which are there, halwa or something at the end. But it is not. Actually, we have to take the madhur ahara in the beginning. Why madhur ahara in the beginning? There is a scientific reason behind this. One thing is, these all madhur ahara or the sweet items, they are heavy for the digestion. So when you are hungry in the beginning, if you take, the digestion will be proper. The second important thing is, when you take the sweet item in the beginning, you can have the actual assessment of how much you should eat. Generally what happens is, if we take the food, we take up to the full of stomach and then we have the sweet, because sweet we like to very much, then we take it again. Ultimately what happens is, there will be excess load for our stomach. It becomes too heavy for us to digest, and again when we are taking at the end the food which is very heavy for the digestion, so it will completely disrupt our whole digestive process. So in the beginning, if we take, we can have the proper assessment and its digestion will also be very proper. And again they are saying is bhojanagre sadapatham lavanardrak bhakshanam. Whenever you have aruchi means anorexia of food intake, the best thing and the easiest thing you can do in your home is, you have to take little amount of ginger, a small piece of ginger, and mix with the rock salt, and that you have to keep in your mouth. A small piece of ginger mixed with rock salt that you have to keep in the mouth. That will sandeepanam ruchyam, that will ignite the fire, that will increase your digestive capacity. It will uh, make the food tastier for you, or you will develop the taste for taking this food. So that we have to do. So that is only in the case of when we have anorexia. In general, they are saying is, we have to take first the madhur ahara. And one more common question comes, that if we have fruit items, fruits we have, when exactly we should consume fruits, whether in the beginning or in the last. In general, what I see in most of the places, actually the fruit salad is served at the end. We have the full course of meal, and at the end this fruit salad is given with the ice cream or sometimes without ice cream. Actually the Shastra says that Adau Falani Bhunjit Dadima Dini Buddhiman. Actually in the beginning we have to take the fruits. Dadimadin. Dadim means the pomegranate, Adi means etc. So whatever the fruits are there, actually the best thing is we have to take in the beginning. And there are exceptions only for the amlaki. Amlaki is the gooseberry, amla. That is the only exception. Amla is a fruit which can have any time, like in the beginning or at the end or in the middle. But all other fruit, it is the best is we have to take in the beginning. We discussed about the Kala Bhojana. So in the daytime, I told that when you have, where you have a proper regimen, there will be time around 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, you will feel hungry and then you have to take food. What is the best time for the night? So there, the Shastra says that Ratro tu bhojanam kuryat pratham praharantare. Prahara is 3 hours. So after the sunset, within 3 hours, we have to take our dinner or the night meal. So suppose if the sunset time is 5 o'clock, you can easily check your sunset time of whichever place you are in the Google, what exactly the sunset time of your place. From that, within 3 hours, you have to finish your dinner. So 5 o'clock is the sunset, then within 8 o'clock, you should complete your dinner. There is seasonal variation of food intake. Commonly, you will observe like in the coming next season, after this, like the November, December, that is Hemant or Shishir Ritu, that winter season, naturally the appetite will be very good. And after that, when the February, March, the Vasant Ritu comes, the spring season comes, the sun rays are slowly becoming hotter. So we have to shift from the food regimen which we are following in the winter season to the food items which are suitable for the spring season. So there is a variation, like in the Grishma, in the summer season, you have a different schedule. You take more of the liquid diet, sweet items like the sharbat, etc. You take more to fulfill the loss of the fluid or because of the excessive perspiration. You take more liquid diet. But when the season changes, your food habit should also change. So whatever you are consuming, it should have a relationship with the nature. It is not as some people are following a fixed kind of diet pattern for the whole year. So that is very wrong for your health. Some people, they consume the exact amount of water for whole year. They say that every day I get up and I take 3 glass of water. Or they say that my night diet is fixed for the 3 chapati or 4 chapati or whatever. So this is a wrong pattern. Actually, season wise, the season has influence on our body, and accordingly we have to shift our diet also. The kind of food ingredients which we take, mostly we have to take the seasonal vegetables, etc. And again, the timing, as the sunset, the timing will change, sunrise time will change as per the season. So this we have to always follow, and accordingly only we have to take our food. And one more important thing is, at the junction of these two seasons, like the 1 week of the last season and one first week of the season which are going to come, this junction period of 2 weeks, that time we have to be very careful. And this is the time when most of the people, they suffer with some health issues, maybe the common allergy, etc., or the cold, cough, such kind of problems, fever, because the season is changing, but you are not shifting your diet pattern accordingly. So we have to be very careful in this junction period, and we have to slowly adopt the dietary pattern which are suitable for the upcoming season. Many people they argue about, if we take non-vegetarian, then only our nutritional need will be fulfilled. Actually, we have to see little more humanistic way of eating. Actually, in the Shastra, they say, Atmavat satatam pashet api kita pipilikam. They are saying is even the ants and the insects. Pipilika is the ants. Keet is insects. So even the ants and insects, we have to see like us. They are also living creature, like the birds, animals, all. They are all living creature. And they all have the equal opportunity to live in this nature. Who has given authority to us to kill them and eat away? And again in the Charak Samhita, they are saying is Sarva Prani Shubandhu Bhuta Syat. We have to be in a brotherly relation with all the creatures, all the living creatures. And there is a book, I will tell, it is written by the Susan George. The book entitled How the Other Half Dies. So actually I told that we are in a mixed kind of situation where many peoples are dying because of the scarcity of the food, and another side we see that the people they are dying because of the excess amount of eating or because of the overeating, improper way of eating. Why such kind of disparity we see in this world? And actually this one important thing I will tell you, why such things are happening, that one side they do not have enough for eating and one side they have excess, they are too much for it, they are dying because of too much of eating. It is because of the prevalence of the non-vegetarian diet. Actually the total amount of grains which are grown in the India and the China, more than that is fed to the cattle which are there in the USA. And it is just the meat industry, because they want to provide the meat, and meat is very much prevalent. The more the country developing, the more and more the people are becoming non-vegetarian. This is a common pattern which we see. And to create a 1 kg of meat, we need 10 to 15 kg of grains. That means the cattle which are there, they develop 1 kg of meat in their body when they consume 10 to 15 kg of grains and almost 100 to 150 liter of water. And this 1 kg of meat is sufficient for 3 or 4 people, maybe. Or even sometimes one person can consume this whole 1 kg of chicken. But you can just see this 10 or 15 kg of rice, for how many people it will be sufficient? It will be sufficient, I think, at least for 30 to 40 people. And this 100 liter of water, it is sufficient for that at least 30 to 40 people. So this has created a lot of disparity among one side of the world and another side of the world. There are two different kind of conditions we see here. The another aspect I will tell you, most of the cities in the world, they are on the they are near the sea beach. Like in India itself, you see the Kolkata, the Bombay, Chennai. These are the three. Delhi is not near the sea, but among these four, the three are near the sea. And in the world also, you can see like the Shanghai, like the New York, they all are near the sea. And what happens is these cities are continuously growing, becoming huge and huge. And as they are becoming huge and huge, their need for the food is also increasing. And you will not find much of their agriculture land, because all the agriculture land, they are converted into the city or the complex. The agriculture land are continuously reducing. They are converting into the city. City is growing big and big. And these all population which are accumulated in the one place, they are all dependent upon the staple diet as a fish. And this fish, they are emptying so fast from the sea that a big and big ship, the ship becoming bigger and bigger, they are going into the sea, they are capturing the fish and they are coming and they are selling this in the market. They are emptying the fishes from the sea so fast that the fish are unable to breed in that way, in accordance to that. That means even the sea, which are full of these fishes, they are becoming empty. And so only these fishermen, they have to travel in long and long, and many times you will heard in the news that the shipmen, they were captured by the Sri Lanka or the Pakistan. This all news we see. So that is all happening because of the excess prevalence of this non-vegetarian diet. And again, there are scientific reason also. These all I told, the humanistic way of behaving with our existence. The another is the scientific way. Scientific way also actually or the denture which is there, it is not like the carnivorous animal, carnivorous species. So we are basically vegetarian. Our length of the intestine is also suitable for the vegetarian diet. Actually, our intestine length is almost 3 times bigger than this all non-vegetarian or the carnivorous animals. So vegetarian diet is very much suitable, and it has everything to fulfill your nutritional need. And Shastra, though they are explaining the qualities of this non-vegetarian food, but they are never promoting the never promoting to adopt for this non-vegetarian diet. Again, actually the Ashnahar Vidhi Visheshayatana is explained. So that Prakriti, that is the nature of food, Karna, that is the method of processing the food, then combination of the food I told in the this incompatible Viruddhahara, the Rashi, the quantity of the food, the habit, the place, according to the place we have to take food, like some food which is suitable for the Punjab region, it may not suitable for the Kerala region. So Kerala have a different food culture, Punjab has different food culture, and both kind of food culture are suitable for that habitat. Then the Kala, the time we have to always care for this, the Upayog Sanstha, that means the rules of intake of the food, that also we have discussed. And Upayokta means the person who is taking food. So this also I have told that the person who is taking food, he should be in a pleasant state and he has to concentrate on the food and take the food. We have to go back to our tradition to be healthy. So like the increased use of this aluminum vessels in our kitchen, that is also becoming one of the important cause. There are research studies which say that aluminum is responsible for the killing of our brain cells or this our neurons. So degenerative brain diseases which we are seeing, that all are like the Alzheimer's, etc. These all are becoming because of the excess use of this aluminum vessel. So that we have to avoid. We have to go back to our traditional vessels which we are using, like the bronze vessel and the steel or the iron vessel or the even the mud pot, that we have to go. So the earthen pot, the CDRI in the Delhi, they have came out with the research that food which is cooked in this earthen pot, their essential nutritious element, that all were intact, whereas the food which is cooked in the pressure cooker or in a non-stick cookware, they were having only 7% of essential micronutrients. So that also the studies are saying. So we have to adopt to our traditional cooking method. The microwave, actually the Russia, he developed the microwave and started using it, and the Russia is the country who first banned the micro use of microwave, and later on some modification are done, and then it became popular. Now every kitchen they are using it, but actually cooking in the microwave is very harmful. It won't cook food properly. Okay, so this food is like the outside the food will be cooked, but inside it will be still is uncooked. So that is improper way of cooking. This is not a right way of cooking food and taking. Then use of refrigerator. So again, I have seen some of the family, they prepare the food only once in a week. They keep the vegetable and the sambar or the rasam in the fridge, and every day they just prepare the rice and take the same vegetable, take the sambar, and they just heat it. So this is a very wrong method of eating, and this comes under the tamasic ahara. As per the Bhagavad Gita, yati amam gatarasam puti paryushit ahara. So paryushit ahara means the food which is cooked and kept for several days, or even after one night it becomes the paryushita. So that food we should not take. So we have to avoid it. Always we have to take the freshly prepared warm food. This is very essential. The food which is prepared, actually we have to take within 1.5 hours once it is prepared. Maximum you can go up to 3 hours, but not more than that, because after 3 hours it is almost, it comes under the paryushit kind of ahara. So that is unhealthy, and the food which is warm, it is easy for the digestion, and it protects us from many of the health issues like the cancer, high blood pressure, heart disease, etc. and many of the research they are also showing it. Then reheating of the food. Shastra says that the bhojanam punah ushne kritam tyajet. So that reheated food we should completely avoid. We should not reheat food and take. Always we should freshly prepare, and that food only we should consume. I already told that the restaurant culture, that all we have to avoid. The food which is prepared for the business purpose is very unhealthy and we should never take it. Then this processed food, most of the processed food, they have some chemicals. Most of these things you are hearing in the news, they are containing lead and other like monosodium glutamate and taste makers, which are interrupting with our brain chemicals, and they are creating a kind of changes in our brain which happens because of the use of this narcotics or the drug use. Those who are taking drugs, that kind of changes these processed food they create in our brain, and so only the people are becoming more fond of that particular taste or that particular food items. So we have to always be very careful about uh, taking of these kind of food. We have to avoid the more saturated sodium sugar loaded food. That all I have told, these have lot of harmful effect in our vital organs like the kidney, etc. WHO has given 5 key for the safer food manual. The first one is keep clean. Whenever we are preparing food, we have to maintain a very good hygienic condition, which is possible only in the homemade food. Restaurant food, you can never imagine a good hygienic conditions. Maybe when it is comes to your plate, you don't know the previous history. Second thing is separate raw and cooked. This is very important because the cooked food which you take has a different digestive process, and uncooked food that has a different digestive process. When you mix together these four things, then it is not healthy. So uncooked food you have to take separate, and cooked food you have to take separate. Cook thoroughly. See, many of the kitchen I have found that they half cook the food, and when it has to be served, they again cook it, like the half baked chapati, half baked some vegetables, etc. They keep. Once the once the food is going to be served, then they will again cook it and they will serve it. So this is not a right pattern. We have to cook food thoroughly, and then only we have to serve. Then keep food at safe temperature. So like when I told that use of refrigerator is not good. Whenever very much necessary for some milk, keeping milk and vegetable, that is fine. But cooked item is not, we should not keep in the fridge. So we have to maintain a proper temperature for keeping our food. Whenever necessary, some food items can be kept, but it is only for uncooked food, not for the cooked food. Then we have to use safe water and raw material. That is like the water we discussed in a detail. Raw material also which we are using, we should know the source of this raw material, where it is come, how much pesticide is put over it. That all we have to be careful. Then healthy eating, when we say, it is not like a too much restriction of uh, from the food which you love most. It is about enjoying whatever you love, but with certain limitations. Like you can have all the food items, you can enjoy everything, but always you have to be careful about the way it is came to you. So that previous history of how the food reached to you, that all very much important. And you can enjoy every food items, whatever the taste you like, whatever the food items you like. Actually in the Ayurveda we have several food items. There is a lot of food items. Actually in India we have more than 10 to 12,000 dishes, but still it is very surprising that we are having so many diseases. In every place we have so many food items. You go in each state, there is a very unique culture of each state, and they have so many different food items, very delicious food items. But still we are, sometimes I'm unable to understand why the people are too much fond about the pizza and burger and these things, when such a variety and such a thousands of items. They have only them 2-3 items. Many of the countries, they do not know many of the things what we are eating, but still we are fond of these Western food items. So this is actually not good. Then I already told that the food what we eat, it has a relationship with our psychological status. So its digestion, its uh, whole process, from intake to the digestion, everything is related with our psychological process. And again we say that ahara shuddho sattu suddhi shattu suddho dhruva smriti. So that means the food which you are taking, it is going to help that food only, the sukshma bhaga or the minute part of that food, that is also going to help for your mental status. So only we have categorized the food in the sattvika, rajasika and tamsika. Sattvika, rajasika and tamsika, these are the mental state. So that also depends upon your food. So actually these all guidelines which we discussed are from the classical text, and these all guidelines, they have taken a very long period to come in that shape. Actually the kind of food items which are suitable for our body, what we should take daily, what we should not take daily. So these food items are not developed just in 1 or 2 days. Hundreds of years they have studied, and they came out that what is best for this our in society, and that only they have given in the our text. So we have to follow it without doubting on these guidelines, and when we follow these guidelines, then only we can reach to our optimum health. The Shastra said that Shad Trinshat Sahasrani Ratrinam Hita Bhojanam Jivanti Anaturo Jantur Jitatma Samata. Shad Trinshat Sahasrani, they are saying is 36,000 night one person will live healthy if he following a proper dietary regimen. And they are saying is Anaturo. Atura means the patient. Anaturo means without having any disease. The person who is following the proper dietary pattern, he can live for 100 of years. So we have to build the healthy eating habits. Thank you so much. I think I have taken some more time. So if you have any doubt, I will be happy to answer it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, very much.
Sir. Sorry, I have taken some more time, I think.
It's fine. No issues, sir. No issues at all, sir. Any questions anybody's having? Wonderful, sir. Wonderful lecture, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Helping us to know how, when we should take food and when we should take fruits.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
And how we should, avoid milk with non-veg
Yes, sir, yes, sir,
food.
yes. This is very important, sir.
Yes. Very important. How many of anybody, any questions, please?
Sir,
Go ahead quickly. Yes.
sir, what is that Jivantika green vegetable? What is the local name?
Local name, actually state wise it is different. The
Yeah.
botanical name you can search Leptadenia reticulata. Lepta, Lepta, Leptadenia.
Leptadenia.
Leptadenia reticulata. So you can, in the Google, you can find out the local